Thus, the numbers are not as important. I don't care if a lady has dated 10, 20, or even triple digits of men in the past. Of course, that increases the number of men who might. The most significant alpha influence then, around the age of 30 or so, you decide to play by the rules that nobody else is following. And I have to explain this to you because 5, it doesn't even matter how long she was with that, you get ambushed, quote unquote, right now, by the knowledge that she once dated a man that truly rocked her world. You should watch a Katy Perry video if you want to. And this is the only occasion I will ever advise you to do so. However, check out the video for this song, The One That Got Away, and listen to the words. That personifies an alpha widow to a T, and many men claim that she had written about Russell Brander when in fact I hadn't. She was displaying her engagement ring and was getting married to one of her high school boyfriends. I'll say it again. Look at my ring. And she was still yearning after the boy who attended her high school because she hoped to exact some sort of long-lasting vengeance or something like. But she genuinely has a crush on that guy. She genuinely doesn't want to marry this guy. She desperately wanted to be with the man who ran away. This is Roy C's version of the first 5, or Maxim Trump's first 5 minutes. So remember that. That should be kept in mind while you disconnect from the matrix and transition from your blue pill indoctrination to a red pill awareness. I'm not saying there's no hope left. I'm just saying those are the realities, and you should take them into consideration right away. After that, how do I avoid that Rolo? I suppose I have to fend against the ghosts of her past. In order to become the guy who has the most alpha impact, if that is what you want to achieve, you must first evaluate who that guy was. When I meet people and they ask me how to get or how to battle ghosts, my first response is always, do you even want? Does it even matter? Is this, if this lady is an alphabet, a true alpha widow, and she can't stop thinking about this guy, maybe even hunting him up on Facebook, cyberstalking him on Instagram, or whatever, the social media thing. And it's never been simpler for women to do that. If that's the case, you must consider if your pursuit and your initial desire to investigate her is worthwhile, because that is the query that will most likely put an end to the matter for you then and then. However, let's just pretend for the purpose of argument that you believe she is of such great worth, and as a result, you genuinely want to succeed with the score. You truly have a connection with her. Yada yada. Spend more plates, my friend, I'm going to tell you that. But suppose you are adamant about dating this particular girl and need to find a means to get past her ghosts. You need to figure out a method to surpass the guy who set the bar for it and become the guy who truly shakes her world. You must exert an alpha impact on her. You have to be such an alpha guy or high value guy or whatever you want to call it. The guy that releases her with such an alpha impress had to be you, with such an impression and emotional connection, that you replace the other guy as the one she starts to develop feelings for. And since this is a phrase from behavioral psychology, I'm using the term imprinting, right? Similar to when newborn ducklings are born. These tests were conducted back in the 1970s, right? Wherever the behavioral psychologist or study was conducted, it was found that the ducklings imprinted on the person who would provide for their survival. It's usually the mother duck. Am I correct? And you can see them following the duck around because they have formed an attachment to it. Again, I'm speculating. Feel free to remove or leave this out. But it's whatever the initial opinion was and whatever the security source was at the time, up until the point where the actual researchers were involved. The tiny ducks would fall around the researchers rather than the mother duck when they fell together with the mother duck. Okay, take that whatever you want. However, it's an imprint. It's like having that person in mind who would have completed the task for me permanently in the mind. He is the one who escaped. Because of how important that guy is to women, they'll make popular songs about him. Recall consolidating on the greatest, highest quality guy, such beyond her own, while optimizing hypergamy. The main directive of hypergamy only has a very small window in which it can be optimized, which is what she would warrant in the first place. That is often the party. And thus, oh my God, if a wonderful opportunity arises, or if a guy enters the picture and has such a strong emotional impact on her that she keeps thinking about him and she is unable to lock him down, I had the opportunity to seize victory or have it snatched away from me in an instant. Although I was unable to restrain him, I did manage to get this man. He serves as a consolation prize. I'm also going to recommend that you watch the Titanic movie's very last scene if you watch the Katy Perry video. Titanic is not required viewing. That is not your assignment. Okay. However, the final sequence of Titanic, in which Rose yearns for Jack, whom she lost when she was a youngster, can be found on YouTube. We continue by saying, it's a romance. It's a romance. Etc. It is, indeed. That's how important the alpha widow is, and that's why it resonates. That is how important optimizing hypergamy is to the life of a woman. Therefore, when dealing with an alphawood woman or determining whether or not she is an alpha widow, you must bear that in mind. Because not every woman is an alphawood. You could be the that entered and shook her entire universe. You might be the person who responds to that query. Is he the best I can muster? I believe that's something that far too many guys fail to remember, especially when they start dating and assume that she would not have chosen me if I wasn't the greatest option. There is no reason not to do that because it has been adequately accounted for, or at least that is how it appears to be today. Okay, I'm sorry, I've got one more thing to do here, but I've realized what the alpha widow is. What it ultimately amounts to is a recognized sunk cost. Therefore, it is the concept, knowledge, or acknowledgement. That window of opportunity is closed, and women are no longer in a position to take advantage of or maintain the agency which starts with the party years and lasts until age 28. Those are the best fertile times for women. Now women would want to claim that their attractiveness, vivacity, fertility, potential, and agency are timeless. That it won't ever age or become obsolete. It won't ever go out. And women rely significantly on social constructionism and norms to keep telling themselves lies and, in essence, gaslight themselves into thinking they are beautiful at any age and at any size. Men are the only ones who lack any, won't participate, won't cooperate, and don't get involved. And as a result, they are for overweight or elderly women. It's a fantastic fantasy. A lot of romance books are sold there. In reality, the formula for romance novels is founded on that, as is the case with a lot of romance. Ladies, it doesn't matter your age. You may still be an attractive young woman and an adventurous one. There is no reason not to do that because it has been adequately accounted for, or at least that is how it appears to be today. Okay, I'm sorry, I've got one more thing to do here, but I've realized what the alpha widow is. What it ultimately amounts to is a recognized sunk cost. Therefore, it is the concept, knowledge, or acknowledgement. That window of opportunity is closed, and women are no longer in a position to take advantage of or maintain the agency which starts with the party years and lasts until age 28. Those are the best fertile times for women. Now women would want to claim that their attractiveness, vivacity, fertility, potential, and agency are timeless. That it won't ever age or become obsolete. It won't ever go out. And women rely significantly on social constructionism and norms to keep telling themselves lies and, in essence, gaslight themselves into thinking they are beautiful at any age and at any size. Men are the only ones who lack any, won't participate, won't cooperate, and don't get involved. And as a result, they are for overweight or elderly women. It's a fantastic fantasy. A lot of romance books are sold there. In reality, the formula for romance novels is founded on that, as is the case with a lot of romance. Ladies, it doesn't matter your age. You may still be an attractive young woman and an adventurous one.